In principle, the supplication prayers from Mahamudra supplicated the lineage gurus for Mahamudra from the Indian gurus to the Tibetan gurus. They were all invoked. And you also need to supplicate Niguma, Tilopa, Naropa, supplicating Marpa, Milarepa, Gampopa, and the first Karmapa to Songchampa, all the way to the 16th Karmapa and the 17th Karmapa. They all have to be invoked because that's the direct lineage. So the Dharma crown, they're one with the red crown, and there's another kind which is the black crown. And the red crown of the Kagyupa during the Qing dynasty of the Emperor Qianlong had opposition. The red hat or the red crown opposed the Qianlong anarchy emperor, so now that was a stop, but now it started again. Now the primary ones would be the head crown. And the second patriarch for Mahamudra, or the second lineage guru, was the Bao Yi youth, which is precious mind youth, and that is lotus youth or Padma Kumara. So I have said my greetings, good afternoon, and how do you do, right? Did I say in Cantonese? Yes. Thank you. Next Sunday, September 6th, at 3 p.m., there would be the Homa for the marvelous form Tathagata. Tathagata with marvelous form. A Tathagata that is invoked, one of the 7 Tathagatas that is invoked for the Siddhigarbha Bardo deliverance yoga, so that all sentient beings that are ugly can be transformed to become ones with marvelous or wonderful bodies, a wonderful form. The benefit, if you create affinity with this Tathagata, that in the future you would become one with wonderful or marvelous look or form. So you need to become primary supplicant for the Tathagata. Otherwise, in the future, you would be ugly. So that in the future, if you want to be ugly and short and handicapped, and that you don't need to be the primary supplicant for the Homa. So I said it clearly. There's always benefit to become primary supplicants for the Homa, but depending on your merits, you can also attain the marvelous form. Like if you normally cultivate spiritually, you can also gain the marvelous form. But if you become primary supplicants, the man would be tall, rich, and handsome. And the woman, they would be beautiful and attractive and gorgeous. And you are always youthful. If you just want to look very ordinary, then you don't need to become primary supplicants. So today, we perform the tiger head vajra homa. The mudra is inward clasp. This mudra is the mudra of Adi Buddha. And then you open the two thumbs. The two thumbs, that would be the mudra for the tiger head vajra. The mantra. That's the mantra. And you can visualize this deity, this image here. Golden Mother is holding a golden calabash and a flag, a yellow flag, riding on a tiger. That's the visualization. And with the mudra, mantra, and visualization, that would comprise deity yoga. You can also visualize, like yesterday, Mount Sumeru, and at the peak of the Mount Sumeru, there would be a white home syllable that becomes Golden Mother. And then from Golden Mother, from the Golden Mother's Dharma throne, that's another home character appearing, that revolving to become the golden calabash or the golden tiger. Then that would be the tiger head vajra. So does the True Buddha Foundation have the practice procedure? Yes, it's already on the internet. Master Lian Ci asks how to perform the practice. Actually, it's already published on the internet. So Golden Mother is wearing the jade hairpin on her hair and wearing a phoenix crown and holding the yellow flag and a calabash, riding on a tiger. So this apricot yellow flag, this one here, so it is the apricot yellow flag of the Yanxi Tianzun. Yanxi Tianzun is three of the patriarchs of Taoism. One is Yanxi Tianzun, the other one Lianbao Tianzun and Tongtian Jiaozu. So Linbao Celestial Motherly. These three are together. And then above this, it would be the Hongjun Laozu. So in Taoism, there are these three, and below these three, it would be Mu Gong, the Woodmaster, Golden Mother, Jin Mu, the fire virtue, Huo De, And then 水晶, the water gold, or 水的. And they wrote the jin as the gold, but actually and then actually it's the water crystal. And then at the center is the Huang Lao, the yellow elderly. So Huang Lao at the center, the yellow elderly, and then in the west, Golden Mother, in the east, the Wood Master, in the north, the water crystal, and in the south, the fire virtue. So this apricot yellow flag has great power. So it can summon the rain and the wind. So if you just wave it, then there will be wind. A little bit waving it, there will be rain. So maybe because of this, that's why we have wind and rain yesterday and today. So if you wave this flag, the apricot yellow flag, then it would listen. And the power of this tiger head Vajra is the same as Golden Mother. And the power, her power is tremendous. So for the worldly 8 dharmas and the out-of-worldly 8 dharmas, she has great power over them. So Golden Mother is my most revered yidam, and she is my root deity, and she is in union with me. And Simu can also prove the majestic power of Golden Mother, the great awe of Golden Mother. Every time Simu encounters troubles, as long as we invoke Golden Mother, and as long as Golden Mother descended, that her situation would turn for the better. Please give Simu a microphone. The fact that I'm still standing here and speaking to you, it's completely due to the blessings of Golden Mother. Every time I suffer from pain and sicknesses or had some trouble sleeping, and every time Grandmaster asks Golden Mother, and I always have great responses. And I always say, so I always say to Grandmaster that when one day the power of the blessings of Grandmaster is not effective, then it's my time to die, my time to go. But every time it is very effective. That's why I continue to support the Dharma work and to help Grandmaster and the school, Buddha school. So Golden Mother's Dharma power is infinite, it's boundless. No matter how hard your problem is, as long as you do the Dharma practice and you're a true spiritual cultivator, or you highly revere Golden Mother, you're very respectful toward her, and as long as she descends, she comes. As long as she's here, it would be definitely effective. if her spirit light doesn't come, then I cannot guarantee. But as long as her spirit light is here, then it would definitely be resolved. That's her power. As long as she's here, after supplicating her by reciting her name, then it would be resolved. Doesn't matter how bad your sickness is, as long as you're sincere to ask her, especially the Golden Mother at the Seattle Lizang Temple has the greatest divine power. She has a really high status, very, very high, highly revered, endowed with great Dharma power. No matter how big problem is, she can resolve it easily. But you need to be sincere and earnest, and you need to have complete faith in her with no skepticism or doubt whatsoever. If you have complete faith in her, she has the power to resolve all your difficulties, your illnesses, and all kinds of calamities you're experiencing. And Simu said the fact that she can still be alive standing here, you know, truly, one time in a hotel, maybe she was poisoned. Maybe, I said. So let's just say that she suffered from poisoning, and she was in great pain, and her hair was disheveled, and she fell from the bed to the ground and just rolling over. It looked like she was poisoned. And for Qing and for Qi tried to find, because I was staying in a different room at the hotel. So I went to their room. They asked me to call an ambulance, and she was just rolling around and really pale and all disheveled, and she was in great pain and looked like almost gone, almost wasted. So at that time, I formed a mudra, Golden Mother's mudra, and Golden Mother immediately came and gave her blessings really, really tremendously. The power was really great that I almost like float in the air and give the blessings on her. And after the blessing, immediately her face started to turn red, and the hair that was all disheveled and standing was kind of calmed down, and her four limbs also started to relax. So, as if what had happened was false, was not real. Did it really happen? Yes. If we talk about it unrealistic, not too pragmatic, that it's not poisoning. It is like an animal spirit that entered into Simu's body, and by the power of Golden Mother's Dharma power, I chased away that animal spirit. That was a real story. Not recently, but a while back. Nowadays, if she is experiencing difficulty and when she's cannot hold it any longer, then I would invoke Golden Mother, supplicate her, and then help her. And then the second day, she's definitely recovered. Like what she said, if she cannot be helped anymore, then it's time for her to go. So Golden Mother has that tremendous power. She always followed Grandmaster in encountering real difficult problems or with great pain or problems with her health. That as soon as Golden Mother is here, then they all resolve. So her majestic awe and power are tremendous. So I followed Golden Mother for 45 years. And I never leave her for even a day. There wasn't a day that I'm not mindful of her for the past 45 years. And it would be the same for the future. Until I leave the world, until I pass away. So that's my faith. If you also have this faith, then she would be in spiritual union with you. And the tiger head Vajra is even more majestic. She can she can ward off or eliminate all kinds of negative spirits and the very unruly ghost or disasters. And the majestic power is so tremendous that it cannot be put into words. I just want to show how boundless the Dharma power is. It's like the cloth puppet show. It's like in the auspicious lights radiating all over, filling the whole universe. It's so tremendous that it cannot be put into words. The same for Golden Mother and the tiger head Vajra. Now let me continue to talk on the Great Perfection Dharma. When the body has merged into the Dharma realm, then it becomes sudden enlightenment and Ren Yun, or like spontaneous execution or happenings at will with great mastery. So this Ren Yun, Dharma gate of manifesting bodies outside this body, is truly difficult to imagine through our ordinary imagination. It cannot possibly be conceived and comprehended without the transmission from an authentic guru. So this manifesting bodies outside this body of Ren Yun is basically beyond words. If it is attempted to be put into words, then it will be derided and denigrated by people. That's the highest kinds of Dharma, like sudden enlightenment, Ren Yun, manifesting bodies outside these bodies. It's unimaginable by most people. Even the Dharma power of Golden Mother is hard to explain clearly. It's hard. to describe clearly, but that she can open my divine eye and instructed me to cultivate spiritually and how to walk the path all the way for 45 years. And eventually, Grandmaster Lu also had realizations, had fruitions, and also had been enlightened. Due to the power of Golden Mother, I could invoke all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and all divinities can descend. So that shows how tremendous her power is. And look at cancer. That's the most troublesome. And she can alleviate it. She can cure it or let it diminish. But do you have 100% faith? Do you have that kind of complete and pure faith? That's the question. Do you cultivate spiritually? Do you really cultivate spiritually? Do you just create good karma and not bad karma? But if you have made a lot of bad karma and then you ask Golden Mother, then it would depend if Golden Mother is compassionate toward you or not. Of course, Golden Mother is very compassionate, but this rascal, even if he or she falls into hell, that's already sympathetic toward you. Even if you become the ghosts and the hungry ghosts and animals, and you're creating bad karma all the time, would she still want to help you? You create a lot of bad speech karma and killings and going against Guru's instructions. How could she help you? Tara is also the most compassionate. So, from the tears of Guan Yin Bodhisattva, one drop is green Tara, the other drop is white Tara. So, tears are most compassionate. But green Tara said, if you go against your lineage root Guru, doesn't matter how hard you ask, you will not be answered. Green Tara has a vow. She helps anyone. Green Tara is the most compassionate, but there's only one. If you go against the Guru's instruction, then Green Tara will not help you. If you slander or defame or destroy your gurus, then you would be the only one that's not helped by Green Tara. The 5 heinous sins: killing father, killing your mother, killing an arhat, killing a holy person, killing the 5 heinous sins: killing a father, killing a mother, killing an arhat, killing a holy person, and harming Buddha. And creating discord in a Sangha. So what does it mean? That the Sangha is a group of Sangha, a group of sacred people. So you break them apart so they cannot be a Sangha anymore. So you make a lot of the Sangha members leave the Sangha, that's creating discord inside the Sangha. Those are the 5 hideous sins, the unpardonable crimes. They cannot be saved. People who preach those cannot be saved. So if that's the case, then Grandmaster has the greatest power and authority, because we cannot go against lineage root guru. Can we leave our root guru? Yes, you can leave, but don't defame him. Then you would be considered to respect or honor the guru. If you think that you're not in the same wavelength or at the same frequency as the guru, and then you don't feel comfortable with this guru, then it's okay, you can leave, but never slander or defame your root guru. That's very important. You can just leave quietly, and no need to say anything. You can follow another guru. There are many gurus around, many holy persons, many panditas, many wise people, enlightened ones, holy people, not just one Seng Yen Lu. There are many holy people in this world, many spiritual cultivators, many sadhakas, and many panditas that you can follow, but never defame or slander your root guru or the former root gurus. That's ethics. That's the basic integrity and ethics as a human being. And if you cannot even do that, then you have breached the precepts. Okay, we don't need to be so serious. Let's just take it easy. This is not so good to be told. Maybe we have told this joke before, but it's okay. We can still laugh at it. Talking about mainland China, there is a van that carries 14 people, and a passenger at the back said, driver, so you carry more people than allowed in this van. If you're caught, then you would lose your license. The driver turned back, smiled and said, well, to have my license confiscated is you have to have the license, right? Meaning he doesn't even have the license. And then another passenger asked scarily, and you still drive without license? And the driver replied, oh, don't worry. Now I'm brave because I drank alcohol. I drank erguoto, it's like some kind of white liquor. And the passenger started to tremble. Why don't you test and get a license? And the driver replied, of course I want to get a license, but I am colorblind. How could a colorblind person get a license, a driver license? What I meant by telling this joke, it's talking about your integrity. So you need to have you have a license, you have the skill and the ability and to follow the spiritual cultivation, to cultivate spiritually step by step. First, if you have the license for the first empowerment, then you do the practice for the first empowerments. If you have the license for the second level empowerment, then you can perform the practices of the second level empowerment. If you have the same for the third level, and then the fourth level, which is Mahamudra and Great Completion Dharma. But if you have not had any attainments in your first level Dharma practices and you want Mahamudra and Great Completion, then that's still way off. So the same with spiritual cultivation. You start with the 4 preliminary practices, and then the Root Guru Yoga, and then the Yidam deity yoga, and then the Dharma protectors, Heruka practice, and then the inner practices, and then the highest yoga tantra. And then until you're perfect in this, then the emptiness and the clear light merge into one. So emptiness is the Buddha nature, and the clear light, which is the radiance, entered into the Buddha nature and they merge together. Then you have attainment. So spiritual cultivation has to go step by step. So you first need to have empowerment, and the empowerment is the license. And without empowerment, if you do the practice, then you would be like the driver in the joke. So now you understand. At the public bus, I heard a boy of about 9 talking to the little girl next to him. Who can predict the future? I know that my children in the future would have what family names. But how about you? You don't even know what your children would be named. So a boy of 9 told the girl next to him that I know in the future my children would have what family name, but how about you? You don't even know. And the little girl replied loudly, really? But I know for sure that the children that I bear would be mine. But how about you? The children may not necessarily be yours. So does it make sense? Yes. So that's why before I said a husband was about to die and the wife and the children around him. And the husband told the wife, I'm sorry, honey, that I made one mistake that I never told you. That there was only once I had extramarital affair because I'm about to die, so I want to be honest with you. And the wife told him, don't worry, just go ahead and die. That's a small case. That's a really tiny case. And look at all these children here. Which one that look like you? None of them look like you. So there are a lot of things that you can predict, but there are also a lot of things that you would know. They are beyond. You would never know. Like Grandmaster knew how I died in my past life. It's still in my brain. when I was dying, I lay there, and then my eyes look at a lot of people around me, and I look at them one by one. I'm about to die. And then as soon as I closed my eyes, it was completely dark in front. And then all of a sudden, the essence, chi and spirit completely dissolved, and I died. So I still remember how I died. And I could recognize those people around me then. But how about the former 500 lives or the future 500 lives? How about further beyond that? You don't know. So there's still a lot of things that you cannot predict. So Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are compassionate. And if you can attain Buddhahood, then you would comprehend everything in this world. Then you would not have no grasping or no attachments. Once you let go of your attachments, then you can see through everything. And all worries, troubles, and afflictions would be gone. But as a human being, if you have attachment, then you would have afflictions, then you will not learn yun. For spiritual cultivator, there's something wonderful. Doesn't matter. No matter what, whatever happens is good. It's a good thing. Because from this, you either gain something or you learn something. Everything is the best arrangement. For spiritual cultivators, everything is the best arrangement. Doesn't matter what environment you get into, that's the best arrangement. Even death is the best arrangement. So one of the 10 epithets of Buddha is the well gone. It's the marvelous and wonderfully arranged death. That's the epithet of the Buddha. So everything is wonderful, no big deal. After a couple watched a horror movie, they got home, and the wife told the husband, "Hubby, don't turn off the lights when we sleep tonight. I'll be afraid." Okay, but with one condition. What condition? And the husband said, then you should not take off your makeup. So that's why you need to register yourself for this Tathagata with marvelous form. That's very important. Otherwise, once you take off your cosmetics, your makeup, it's like seeing a ghost. A told B, oh, what bad luck. This morning when I got out, a mosquito got into my eye, and I had to spend $500 at the doctor. Oh. And B said, oh, that's not so problem. Huh? What flew into my wife's coat? 什么东西? Oh, a coat flew onto my wife, and I spent $30,000. So simply said, things about money, if it is in your destiny, you would have it sooner or later. But if it is not in your destiny, then don't force upon it. You know, fortune telling is accurate. Why? Because they need to make a vow. In order to be accurate in fortune telling, is you have to be poor, and you have to be single. You cannot get married, and cannot have children, or handicapped, or maybe blind, or deaf, or mute, or broken arm, or broken leg. So you need to make this vow. If you are one of these three, then you will be really accurate in divination or fortune telling. In the past, in Taiwan, called Chen Donghai, maybe he's not around anymore. He made this vow to be poor. So whatever money that he gained, money that he earned, he was very accurate, and he spent it all that night. So he had no money on him, and then he earned more money the next day, and then whatever he earned, he spent that evening. So he was so accurate that as soon as he walked into, someone walked into his place, like if this is, I'm the fortune teller, several people walking by and say, oh, there's a fortune teller here, and immediately he could call on their names one by one. As soon as he saw you, he could call your name. So he was incredible. But how could he be like that? Because he had made the vow. So he got a news. So it's like information by the sound or through the ears. You know, so the Dharma practice that I will teach on September 12th for spiritual cultivation. So there's 3 celestial maidens, spiritual cultivation, Dharma transmission. I will talk about it. There's one of them that's really accurate. So it's very accurate. Tie Ban Sen Su. Sao Kang Jie is a kind of divination that's also very accurate, that it can even read or calculate your father, your mother, and the 12 Chinese zodiacs, and what zodiacs your father and mother are, and how many siblings you have, and what, and in which one you are of the siblings, what rank are you, and how many are alive, how many have died, and your monthly salary, and at what year, how many salary you would have, and how much money you would save. And then in the future, someone by a certain family name would cheat you of your money, how much money, and then continue to calculate it until the year of your death. So Sao Kang Jie is Tie Ban Sen Su. That's how you calculate that. And Yan Tian Gang, Ping Liang, Liu Bo Wen, they all have gods. Dongfang Se. So they have human beings, have gods. They based on the time and date of your birth, the year, month, date, hour, and minutes. So if it's a year, month, date, and hour, that's called the 8 letter. 甲乙木丙丁火。甲乙木。甲乙木。丙丁火。丙丁火。木火燃烧40年。So Grandmaster's star has a wood and fire, so the fire will burn the wood for 40 years. That's my destiny. And that's only for the 4 digits, right? I mean the 4 sections, which is 8, the 8 characters of your birth. And then if you add the minutes, then you can start from the birth to death. A lot of people can do the simple one, but like Sao Kang Jie, to be really accurate, and which person by what family name, at what time and date will cheat you out of how much money, they all can be calculated and can be told. So that's why if it is in your destiny, you will have it sooner or later. But if it is not in your destiny, there's no need to force upon it. So if you're not attached to money, not to attached to sensuality or beauties, and you're not attached to status and position, and if you have no more attachment whatsoever, then you can ren yun. You can go at your own will. So 2 ladies are talking, and Amma said, my grandson was very diligent in school in Taiwan, but in America he became really lazy. And Asen asked, how come? Because every time when I get up from my afternoon nap and I called him and he said that he's sleeping, that's because of the time differences. So if you're clear and comprehend everything about the world, then you would have no attachments whatsoever. And then you can let go of everything. And if you can let go of everything, then you can ren yun. So how can you be free from all attachments is through enlightenment. That's why enlightenment, you need to first realize or awaken to what the enlightenment is on your own.